Glad to know you stay with us. And to the next conversation now, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, has said that over 65,000 uncollected PVCs which were burnt during attacks on Inec offices in Ogun, Osun and Ebonyi states will be reprinted in 2 days. He made a statement on Tuesday in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, during the on-the-spot assessment of the burnt office in Abeokuta South by suspected arsonists. We have right here with us political technocrat Dr. Dayo Kayode, and he will also talk to us about this. Good to have you again.
Thanks for still having me, Pep, and Samson Alagbara.
Thanks. I mean, in 2 days, yeah, it looks good. It looks like the ancient times of going to print some of these sensitive materials outside of the shores of the nation is over in that sense. But printing it in 2 days is not even the issue. The issue is how does this affect, you know, the electorates who are meant to receive their PVCs? I'm saying that because we've had warnings over time that INEC officials were targeted, and that intel wasn't worked on, you know, because we've had 3 attacks on their offices in the last 4 or 5 weeks. There is the possibility, which we do not hope for, but there is the possibility that there may be more attacks on, you know, INEC offices across the nation. So if INEC is saying would replace the burnt PVCs, which was about 650 thereabout in Ogun, you know, what's the assurance that they can keep up with reprinting of PVCs if it happens, considering they still have to also organize the elections and prepare for other duties of theirs? And as I said, the presidential polls is just about 10, 11 weeks away.
Yeah, you see, good that Professor Mahmood indicated that he is on top of his game. But then, I will also advise him to please walk the talk.
Okay.
Okay? That's 1. 2, no doubt about it that there are some people who, one way or the other, doesn't want a peaceful Nigeria, because that is where they make their own living. That is where they know that peradventure or probably they have been schemed out of the political calculation. They are now thinking that if they continue to make the system non-conducive for government to operate, probably the thing can now turn around to them. But I have good news for them. I have good news for them. The government somehow now had realized the essence of security within the environment. I was listening to when you were reading the daily papers. You made mention of some states that are now ready to deploy drones to ensure security within their political enclaves. All right? I was also listening to our president, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, where he was giving a tall order to security operatives to improve on their activities towards wiping out all the terrorists within our territory. So also I want to implore him, the president, the state governors, and then even Professor Mahmood should join hands with them to ensure that some of their facilities are being well protected in terms of deploying of drones, deploying security agents to safeguard all those facilities, and then to also deploy spies towards gathering information as regards those that are planning to go and perpetrate evil on facilities of Inec. And not that when you have apprehended them, you now say you want to return them back to the society or you want to pardon them. No. Apprehend them. Take them to court. And then ensure that necessary punitive measures are being meted on them so as to serve as deterrent to others. It is only by doing that we can forestall further occurrences in future.
But beyond the deployment of technology in terms of drones and what have you, how about the personnel, our gallant men and women?
Yeah, I also mentioned it. That they should also send some of them to
those offices. Yeah, I'm looking at it from this angle. Remember, we have various security challenges right about now, and our gallant men and women are dealing with all of these on different fronts, different parts of the country. I won't say they're overwhelmed or overstretched, but to some extent they are stretched in that sense. So if you now have to deploy quite a handful of them as well to not just various INEC offices, but other strategic, offices and all of that, how do you think that would affect the balance of the security structure?
Yeah, you see, I always tell people we don't need to be deploying much of human
capital
presence into some of these things. We have technology, and those things are there. We have them. Listen,
how effective have they been?
It's not that they are not effective.
Okay.
It's about human behavior.
Okay.
Human behavior. Whether you want it to work or you don't want it to work. Don't we have satellites in the orbit?
Okay.
Being controlled by NigerComSat? What are they using their yearly budgetary allocation for? At least according to NigerComSat, we have 3 satellites in the orbit that can cope the territorial integrity of Nigeria every time. Do you understand? So what are those things there for? Aside, we have drones. Aside, there are also equipments on ground that you can use to monitor areas. I don't know whether you get. There are some equipment that can monitor like as far as even 5 kilometers radius. 5 kilometers radius. We have them in this country. So what are all those things meant for? Because when you are using that, just one person can monitor that 5 kilometer radius.
Okay.
We just be monitoring movements, and then when you see strange movements, you make calls to the necessary quarters, so that they will just move in. I mean, those things are there, but because that attitude that I will not let it work because of what I will eat.
Attitude on whose part? Because I mean,
government officials, not you, not me, not you, not me. I don't work with NigerComSat, neither you. I don't work with security agency, neither you. But those ones that are there, listen. Look at what we're having in Nigerian Airways.
Maybe we need to have, maybe we need to expand this conversation to understand what the challenge is. Because talking about NigerComSat, I mean,
the challenge is not other than fraud. Nothing other than fraud.
What if it's personnel? What if it's
I say everybody is looking for what is going to take, what is going to take out. And that is what everybody there are looking for. They are not looking for Nigeria per se. They say, Nigeria's problem is enormous. But yes, it's enormous. Have you forgotten that 1,000 miles journey starts with a step? It starts with your own contribution. It starts with my own contribution. But when you are now deploying your own negatively, it will further affect the problem that we are in.
Okay.
You understand? If you decide on your own now, that I was discussing with somebody yesterday about the situation in the country. And I said, okay, what do you think we should do? I said, look at this. Look at what I'm planning to do. And that's why I said I should discuss with you. You know what he said? He said, my brother is boiling because of, he said, if only we can have some others who can be boiling like that, not just boiling, but with some pragmatic solutions, Nigeria wouldn't be like this. But because we have decided to be individualistic, what do I get? We were discussing something the other time. As you got somebody collecting one contract for so some and this and that. And then you were now talking about, yes, he has done it before. I said, no. He's using his or our own personality to collect that contract. And they are giving him or her that big sum because they know he or she will be able to influence something somewhere. He will now bring somebody like you to come and do the work and then pay you peanuts. And then pay you peanuts. Or which is not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be. We also went further. He said, because he said that leader, the leader, we just come to this mechanic village. He say, you this organizer, you have served me so well for the past 5 years. Oh yeah, come, let me compensate you. Go and be the chairman of that local government. What does the organizer know as regards local government administration? What will you be expecting? So that is why we are where we are. Not until when we look at these things together, put it in proper perspectives, then we won't be able to solve the situation.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Daikayode, political technocrat, for sharing your thoughts with us on the show.
It's my pleasure being with you always.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
We'll take a break now. When we'll come back, of course, we have more for you. Stay with us.